What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about B3 today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys, and let's get into it, all right? It's the 26th day of June. We had a bit of a drop yesterday for B3, didn't we, on the 25th there? Yeah, we dropped 8%. That's ugly. That's not nice, man. 0027 right now. I think the reason we dropped, let me go over, actually, I have a theory, and it might be perfect. It might be fine. We're about to launch, you guys. I really think we're about to launch. And let me just show you why. And if we're not about to launch and we go lower, going lower than what we did yesterday, I think would be very incriminating to the idea that we actually go lower. But hold on, okay. 1 hour time frame. Looking at this here. We go back, we're on Coinbase, right? You go back here, you notice something funky right here on a 1 hour closing basis. There's a closing price here and the next hour opened here. Effectively, you had a gap. You came down and you filled that gap. As soon as you filled that gap, boom, bullish repercussion to the upside, right? No gaps down here. Ain't no gaps there. Oh, and actually there was a little gap here, but what did we do? We wicked back down to fill that gap. There is a gap down here as well. It's very possible that we could fill that gap. I don't think that we... Oh, wait. No, right there. It is very possible that we fill that gap. Actually, let's look at that real quick. What would this... If we were to go down from here, low to high? It's possible. I want you guys to understand that if the price does go below like 0026, it's nothing to be completely concerned with, but I guess it would be discouraging. It's not encouraging at all. I think it would look much nicer to find support here because gaps aside, this is prior resistance right here. Finding support at prior resistance is phenomenal. That's what you want to see. This is exactly the type of reaction that you want to see off of these areas of support. We take a low, also double bottom at your all-time lows. All these good things with the higher low here, all these good things going on. Don't fumble the bag, B3. B3 moderators, market makers, people in charge. This is whenever it's time to lay the hammer down, okay? Tell them to lighten the load on the selling pressure. I don't know if that's actually true, right? If there's anybody manipulating the markets, pump it now, man. High leverage to the long side. Or maybe to the short side. I guess that would be more of a reason for it to go up, because then you got people who are basically vulnerable to the price going up. Here we are, low to high, semantics aside. That was a loud noise. Everything's okay. It sounds like that was my wife's phone dropping. Low to high, we're in the golden ratio zone finding support, and that was an immaculate area to find support. When you work your way to lower prices, what you do is you'll find support at the golden ratio, find resistance in this area, and then go lower. So the best way to avoid going lower would be to just not come back down to the golden ratio at all. If we bounce off of that can happen, but that's a little bit less common. Typically, whenever you're working your way higher, you'll find support at the 0.5 and then move higher. So we're actually right at that area where you want to find support now. Right at prior resistance here and just prior resistance here. So we want to go. We want to go. We want to see some higher movements. Let's see if we do. Let's look at the short-term time frames here. I want to look at the 15-minute time frame, and then we'll zoom back out, okay? 15-minute RSI. It does look bullish. I will say at the moment it looks pretty damn bullish. I like the readings. I like what I'm seeing here on the 15-minute. It doesn't look bad. We're at an area where you'd like to find support, but if you do go a little bit lower, if we go down to about 00267, we're at 00269 right now. It's not a big deal. Go a little bit lower. Who cares? 1 hour time frame. Now this I don't like so much, right? Because we moved up and that's great, but 17 minutes left in this 1 hour candle. Rejecting off the 50, that's not always too much fun. But to be fair, the last time that we rejected the 50 was right here, and we went higher. Time before that, you did go lower. Rejected it here momentarily, and then you went higher. Rejected it here, lower, but then higher, and then lower, and then higher. A little bit of volatility there. It's like 50-50. It doesn't seem... maybe more to the bearish effect, and that makes sense. I don't know. It's like 50-50, really. It's not ideal. It's not a look that you want, but you can reverse that. And again, this would depict the idea that going lower is very much a possibility. A little bit lower, at least down to the 40. Sometimes you find resistance at the 50, you find support at the 40, and then you move up, or something between the 50 and the 40. So even with this 1 hour closing in about 16 minutes now, if we go a little bit lower from here, it's really not a big deal. I stand by it, right? If we go down to 20266, that's okay. I'm not scared for the price. But I would like essentially an immediate recovery. By the time maybe most of you watch this video, if it's been like 2 or 3 hours from this video or longer, ideally we're above this high point, right? If in the next 16 minutes, if we're not even down 1%, if in the next 16 minutes we can just flip and get up 1%, that'd be nice too. And just avoid this whole shenanigans with rejecting the 50 in the first place. But right now, I would say this agrees with the idea of going lower. If we happen to go below these lows, we would be in a position where the 1 hour time frame would likely have a higher low in the RSI, and we would have bullish divergence, lower low in the price, higher low in the RSI, indicators diverging from the price, bullish divergence, right? That's a good thing. So even in the event that we go lower, it's not the end of the world, is all I'm trying to say. 4 hour time frame, very interesting. Not to the bullish effect, not to the bearish effect. It's neutral. We're in a critical kind of moment right now. Again, I think the main theme of this video so far, it's right on point. The 4 hour helps depict that as well, is that we need to hold this area as support, right? If we go lower, if we go down here, I suppose it's okay, you know, holding 0025. As long as we're holding that, I suppose it's okay, but I'd rather not. I'd rather just not test that. But even if we go down there, there's a gap down there. We could find support and do all that stuff. I just think it would look way better to find support here, but who cares what I think, right? Things are going to happen the way they want to happen anyways. But looking at the RSI, it's a truly neutral RSI. You rejected the overbought zone. Here it looks like you're rejecting the oversold zone. You can't really get overbought or oversold. When that happens, I mean, inevitably you will pick a direction, but we're just kind of in limbo until that happens. So we're at a critical moment where if you want the price to go up, if you're like me, you don't want to give up any downside, right? You want that to happen now. Like right now. It has to happen in a short amount of time, because if it doesn't, if we don't see something here cooking within the next couple of hours, or even like within the next like 4 to 6 hours, I would think that we might be in jeopardy of going lower, and that's okay. Maybe not lower than these lows, but lower than this. But time will tell, right? Time will definitely tell. I do appreciate that as we're moving down here, there's actually a lack of volume. We had more volume on the way up than we did on the way down, right? That's actually kind of encouraging. I think there's low volume on B3, right? Let's look at B3 here. What do we got? That's not bad. That's actually not bad volume, to be completely fair. For an 8% move down, that's not bad volume, actually. Above 10% is desirable. It's actually very desirable. So, yeah, not bad volume there. A lot of that volume from yesterday and today, a lot of the volume over the last 24 hours, right? Because this is the 4 hour time frame. 6 times 4 is 24. So of the last 6 candles that we've had, 4 of them were down here at the lows. We had a lot of volume come in at the lows. So that's encouraging. That's actually a really good thing itself. Not on the way down, but at the lows. That's nice, right? Because as the volume starts to come in more, we didn't really start moving down anymore. I think there's some buying pressure coming in with that. At least that's what I'm interpreting there. High to low, 0.5 down to the 236, a bit unorthodox. I don't like that. I don't like the way this looks. There's good things and bad things, man. It just goes back. It's literally, for every good thing we have, there's a bad thing. So it really is truly neutral. I think that the nature of this video being a kind of like critical moment, I'll probably even put that in the title, critical moment, needs to make a decision time, something like that. Is very fitting, right? From a high to a low, and I do think we're going to go to the upside, because as we zoom out, now we're at the daily time frame. This is when things start to get bullish, okay? This is where the bearish things kind of dissolve and the bullish things come into light, okay? It's very common whenever you move up, if you come back down and you find support right here at the 069, it's very common to do when working your way higher. So we're actually at an area based on this fib. The 069 is not a fib, it's just an area I've identified as significant on a lot of different time frames for fib retracements. For these like slightly higher low fake outs, or even like double bottoms kind of stuff like this, I would think that we do move up. We probably see something above 0035 here pretty soon. Well, we should get a move. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, man, if by the end of today we were up like 30% or more. I really wouldn't be surprised at all. You look at the RSI. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. And you've got higher lows here bouncing off the oversold zone. That's exactly what you want to see. Bullish divergence here. On the flip side to that, I guess actually there is one more bearish thing. We got one more bearish thing. On the flip side to that, rejecting prior areas of support and an 8% move, I would say that's a rejection. That's not what you want to see. But here we are being held up by this. Good things and bad things, right? Getting above the 40 after rejecting the oversold zone and then getting back below it, that's not what you want to see, but bullish divergence, good things with bad things. So I guess the daily time frame isn't completely absolved of this mix of things either. 3-day time frame, higher lows here, bouncing off the oversold zone, lower lows there. It does look like we've got some very massive bullish divergence forming. I would think that we're going to rip from this to the upside. If we're looking at this just from a price perspective, taking the RSI out of the equation, lower highs and lower lows. Man, hold on. Lower highs and lower lows. I would think that it makes a lot of sense that even if we were to keep going lower and B3 is a flop, it would make sense that we at least move up, right? I mean, that would make sense to me at least. I don't know. Time will tell. I don't think B3 is going to be a flop, though, you guys. I think that we've got a lot of good things coming our way. I think as time goes on, we will begin to grow, and we will see new all-time highs from an all-time high to an all-time low fib, a very significant fib here, you guys. We would likely see, if we are to see new all-time highs, we would likely see something that's around a 12x at a minimum to potentially a 26, 25x at a maximum, right? Something between 3.4 to 6.9 cents, 7 cents, something like that. And you never know. This thing's got a low enough market cap, man, at $57 million that you could really crush this. You could see something that's absolutely spectacular, get a 40x or more. It happens. There will be coins. Understand, you guys, between now and the end of August, there will be coins in the, what is this? In the top 500 that do 40x's. There will be some that do. Not all of them, not most of them. Maybe it's only 10. Maybe it's 20 or 50. I don't know. But there will be coins that do 40x's or more. And B3, I think, with the narrative it's got going for it, hopefully with the production and the team backing it, you know, there could be a lot of growth. There could be a lot of growth. And if not here, maybe something at least that would be at like a 12x. I very much do expect that we'll see new all-time highs, if not by the end of July, sometime in August. But I got nothing else for you guys, right? Besides the bullish stuff there, I got nothing else for you. It's a bit conflicting in the short-term time frame stuff. I think it would be very ideal to hold yesterday's lows as the lows. I think it'd be very ideal to continue to move up from here. I don't like that we're moving down, but on the bright side, if you look at this, right, moved up with a lot of volume. This 1 hour time frame here, there's no volume at all, man. There's literally no volume at all. We're fully mature in this 1 hour, so it doesn't seem like there's a lot of selling pressure. But all the look at that too, man. Like I was saying, right? Here's some selling pressure here, but as you persisted lower, the volume died off. And then when did volume come in? Once you're at your lows. Once you started rounding out, volume came in, and boom, the bigger spike. We got the bigger spike to the upside. There's no volume here to the downside. Really, on a 15-minute time frame, this actually kind of looks like a bull flag right here. And you're right at the area prior resistance where you'd expect to find support. So I'm hoping by the time you guys watch this video, we're up at higher prices. I think we will be. I got nothing else for you though. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. Some people are going to ask, what's the all-time high potential in this? Like you're talking about the short-term stuff by the end of August, midterm stuff, whatever. What's the potential here? You don't know. Nobody knows, right? Nobody knows. I don't know. Maybe the average, what I do believe to know is that the average altcoin between now, like in the top 500, between now and the end of this cycle, which might be at the end of 2025 or going into 2026, the average altcoin should do something on the lines of a 25 to a 30x, okay? I think B3 will outperform the average altcoin. So something more than that. What's its maximum potential? Doesn't mean this is where I think it's going to go, but maybe. I kind of do think it's going to go here. If we did a 100x from here, that's a $5.7 billion market cap. And that, if the gaming narrative in crypto takes off, you guys, that's pretty low. That doesn't really sound right to me. 5.7, no. That's 100x. 20 billion? Okay. I could see that. 15 billion? Okay, I could see that. We're talking about a multi-100x there. If this thing gets to 57 billion, which is not impossible, we've seen plenty of cryptos. I've seen plenty of cryptos in my time, my 3 bull cycles doing this, that have gone from a market cap like this to market caps that are worth tens of billions of dollars. Absolutely, we could see a 1000x. I'm not saying we're going to. I don't think we will. But man, depending on how bullish, again, if we get a 40x, between now and the end of August, all right, maybe from here, yeah, we do a 1000x. You never know. Crazy stuff, guys. But I got nothing else for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. As far as what if anybody has a question, where's this thing going to top off? I hope it's clear. I'm not saying we're going to get a 1000x. I hope it's clear. I'm not saying we're going to get a multi-100x or even a 100x. I would at least expect something more than a 30x by the end of the cycle from here to there. But as far as what the potential is, hundreds of x's, yeah, I think a multi-100x is very possible. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if my investment did 100x or more from here. But I got nothing else. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.